Children, before we begin today's story, let me ask you a small question. Backhand index pointing right if one calm, peaceful afternoon. Suddenly, deep in the forest, a sound echoes out. Gray or. What would you think? Is that creature truly frightening? Or are we scared simply because we hear it? Today's story about 7 little lambs in the misty forest will answer that question for us. Long, long ago, there was a forest very wide, very deep, with countless tall trees reaching up to the clouds. As afternoon fell, mist drifted lazily. Birds fell silent, and even the wind blew softly, as if afraid to make a sound. In that forest, 7 little lambs lived together in a small valley. But lately, the forest was no longer peaceful. Because the fierce bear had appeared. People said the fierce bear was 10 times bigger than a lamb. Its paws were so huge that every step made the ground sink with a thump, thump. One day, the animals even saw its wet footprints, bigger than a family dining tray. From that day on, no one dared to go deep into the forest anymore. That afternoon, the 7 little lambs stood huddled closely together. Big brother lamb, the eldest, kept pacing back and forth, muttering to himself, "I wonder if we should go look for grass today. What if we run into the fierce bear?" Lamb 3 was trembling so badly. His 2 legs rattled like beating drums. Maybe. We should just stay near the edge of the forest," Lamb 3 said in a tiny voice. Lamb 2 snorted when he heard that. "If we stay like this forever, what will we eat? If we meet the bear, we just run. Run fast and it'll be fine." Lamb 5 smiled brightly. "Oh, come on. Maybe the fierce bear just roars for fun." Only little lamb, the youngest, looked up with wide, round eyes and asked a very strange question. "But if everyone is afraid, then won't the fierce bear be able to do whatever it wants?" The whole group fell silent. No one could answer that question right away. In the end, because the fresh grass in the forest looked so green and tempting, the 7 little lambs decided to keep going. But after only a few steps, crash! A huge tree fell down, blocking the path. The whole group screamed, "Ah!" before they could recover. Gray or. From the bushes, a gigantic bear stepped out. Its claws were sharp as knives. Its mouth bared gleaming white teeth. Its eyes, oh my, just one look made hearts drop. The fierce bear roared, "This forest is mine. The weak must leave." Lamb 3 nearly fainted. Lamb 2 pulled his legs back, ready to run. Big brother lamb was so scared he forgot to breathe. Only Lamb 4, the observant one, suddenly shouted, "Don't run." The whole group froze. "Running one by one only makes us weaker," Lamb 4 said quickly. Lamb 6 nodded. "That's right, running is exactly what the fierce bear wants." Little lamb clutched big brother lamb's leg tightly. I don't want to be alone." Hearing that, big brother lamb took a deep breath. "All right. We stand together." The 7 little lambs moved close, back to back, eyes fixed straight on the fierce bear. Lamb 4 whispered, "Look. Behind the bear is a rocky canyon." Lamb 6 added, "The echo there is really loud." Lamb 5 grinned mischievously. "Then, let's make it even louder." And so, the 7 little lambs shouted together, "Ba-a-a-a-a." Their voices echoed into the canyon. "Ba-a-a. Ba-a-a. Ba-a-a." The fierce bear jumped in shock. "Huh? Why does it sound like there's a whole herd?" Lamb 2 quickly ran to the side, stomping hard on the ground. Thump! 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 The shadows of the 7 lambs stretched across the cliff wall. Longer, taller. Looking, many times bigger. The fierce bear stepped back. Could it be? There's a herd of giant lambs in the forest. Little lamb gathered all his courage and shouted. That's right. We are not standing alone. The fierce bear trembled. Sweat poured down. Well, I was just taking a walk. After saying that, the fierce bear turned around and ran straight into the deep forest, not daring to look back even once. When everything grew quiet again, sunlight shone down into the valley. The whole forest brightened, as if nothing had ever happened. The 7 little lambs looked at one another, then burst out laughing. Little lamb asked softly, "Did we really win?" Big brother lamb patted his head and smiled. "Yes. Not because we were stronger, but because we didn't abandon each other." Lamb 5 beamed. "So from now on, anyone can go into the forest again." Lamb 3 sighed in relief. "Thank goodness. Turns out the scariest thing is being alone." And from that day on, the fierce bear never came back again. The forest filled with laughter once more. The 7 little lambs always went together. And wherever they went, they never forgot to hold on to each other. Some beings look very frightening, but they are only strong when we stand alone. When we are together, even the smallest lambs can make the whole forest tremble.